What's going on YouTube? My name is NevinTheBarber, and in today's YouTube video we are going to be covering a high drop fade. So to get right into the video today, I do have my Gamma Ergo trimmers, putting in my first bald line, and as you guys can see, I started it at my client's point of reference. So with this first bald line, you guys want to make sure that you drop it in the back of the occipital bone, just because it is a drop fade. And as I said, right now, just be sure to drop that bottom line in the back underneath the occipital bone. And to get right into our second guideline in this haircut today, I am taking my Gamma Ergos all the way open. This is going to be cutting the hair at a 0.5 length. And I'm going to bring up this guideline a little bit more than ½ an inch. And whenever you guys put in this first bald line, it's very important that you make it symmetrical and even as possible on both sides and throughout the back, just because this is going to determine how blurry and clean your fade comes out. So always remember, clean guidelines will equal a cleaner fade. And same thing in the back. As you guys can see, I'm getting a nice straight line, just as we did with our trimmers. And I'll just begin closing the lever little by little, flicking out that first guideline that we've created. And as you guys close the lever, just be sure to shorten your cutting stroke, just because this is going to be cutting the hair at a little bit of a shorter length. So always be sure to shorten your cutting stroke every time you close that lever. And little by little, you'll start to see that bottom line fade away. Just let the clipper do the work. You don't have to dig the clipper into the skin. Flicking out nice and evenly all throughout the scalp. And as you guys can tell, that bottom line is pretty much already faded away. So after we get down to the clipper all the way closed, I'm going to go back to my Babyliss FX trimmers just to ensure that the skin is blended into the zero. I'm just corner cutting using the corner of my blade, dispersing out that bottom line. And once we have that step complete, we can get into our next guideline with the number 1 guard all the way open. And with this guideline, I'm going to bring it up about an inch, keeping it right underneath my client's parietal ridge on the sides. And in the back, we are going to bring it right above the occipital bone. Same thing with this guideline, make sure it's nice, even, and symmetrical as possible. And after we have that guideline created, we'll knock it out with the half guard all the way open. So this right here is cutting the hair down to a number 1 guard length, a short number 1. And as you guys can see, we are flicking all the way up to that initial guideline we created with the 1 guard open. And you guys just need to let the clipper do the work. You don't have to dig into the scalp. Just be sure to shorten your stroke as you guys close the lever. Like I said earlier, as you close the lever, this shortens the length that the hair will be cut at. And little by little, we have our 0.5 blending into the 1.5. And if you guys use these consistent steps on any haircut, they will work. This is a very effective method right here. So to get into our next and final guideline, we have the number 2 guard all the way open. And with the bigger guards like the 2, 3, and the 4, I always go lever open and then all the way closed. I don't ever do lever play with the bigger guards, just because it's a little bit easier to blend into the bulk. And to knock out that last guideline from our 1.5 to the 2, I used my number 1 guard all the way open. So this is cutting the hair at a 1.5 length. And this is pretty much blending our fade into the bulk of the hair. So after you guys complete this step, it's just a matter of lining up your client and performing the detail work. So now that we have that done, I went back to my number 2 guard all the way open. Now that our fade is complete, we can get right into the lineup. And whenever I line up my clients, I always like to apply a little bit of some spritz holding spray. And what this does is just lays down the baby hairs. That way when you come back with your trimmers, it leaves it with a nice crispy line. And a very important tip whenever lining up your client is to keep their hairline as natural as possible. This will make sure that your client's haircut not only lasts longer, not only that, nobody likes to push back hairline. So always be sure to follow the natural hairline and growth pattern of your client's hair. And same thing with the box, trying to get a nice clean 90-degree angle, like I said, while keeping it as natural as you can. You guys can see that his lineup is coming in pretty crispy. And like I said, after we line up our client, it's just a matter of performing our detail work and getting our client's cut as clean as possible. It's very important that you always go back and double check your work.
Purchase your track today.
Here I am using my NevinTheBarber razor. I will be launching my very own website pretty soon with my own razors and shears. So if any of you guys are in need of shears or razors, feel free to send me a message or check out my website in a few weeks when I drop it. And whenever you guys are doing a razor lineup, it's very important that you line up your client going against the grain of the hair. Whenever you go against the grain, that pretty much just means that you're going up against the grain of the hair coming out of the scalp. So it's pretty much pulling the hair out of the scalp, getting it down to the lowest cut possible. And here are my NevinTheBarber shears. I do have a few different sets. So like I said, if any of you guys are interested, feel free to send me a message and I can definitely get you a set if you'd like some. And whenever performing shear over comb, it's very important that you guys always roll out that comb at a 90-degree angle right off of the parietal ridge, just so you don't create a gash into the bulk of your client's hair. And as you guys can see, our fade is pretty much complete. If you guys learned anything in this haircut tutorial today, please be sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you're new. Like I said, if this helped any of you guys, I would appreciate any feedback. And with that being said, it's your boy NevinTheBarber, and please let me know what you guys would like to see next. I'm out.